Hey there, YouTube land, and today we're going to be looking at some excellent Blu-rays and a couple of DVDs that from companies like genre companies like Grindhouse, Arrow, and Screen Factory that we pass over, but we really shouldn't. So here are some, I guess you'd call them sleeper hits. So basically, what I wanted to do here was I wanted to pick out stuff from different companies that have, they usually have the yearly sales, like Criterion's, and we got some Screen Factory, we got some Arrow. I even put some Grindhouse in there, but not the normal stuff. Everybody goes out and gets the big collector's editions of Screen Factories. We get the Arrows, that the big ones. But I'm gonna give you a suggestion on something that may have passed by because either this may not have known if they were worth it or not. And I'm gonna let you know. These are ones that I really think are worth it. So I'm gonna start off with like the smaller companies first. For Grindhouse releasing, we all know the ones that I mentioned, like the like Cannibal Holocaust and stuff like that. The big editions and stuff. But trust me, you would be remiss not to check out Burt Lancaster in The Swimmer. It's not a horror film. It's actually a very different film. It's got some great features in it, including 2.5 hour documentary thing. Just some incredible stuff. A wonderful transfer, by the way, as well. And just like Grindhouse does with these releases here, we get a cool booklet in here as well, and it's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, so you're actually getting both of them. And by the way, this is a really, really good booklet with lots of writing, some decent pictures and stuff like that as well. So if you have not checked out The Swimmer, I gotta say, I'll put a high on my recommendation list of movies that you should pick up this year. It'll be one that you'll explore. It's going to be something different. It's going to be very much not the norm, and you'll thank me for it. It's a different film, but it's a film that is strong and deserves to be rediscovered. So you haven't seen The Swimmer, you haven't rediscovered this one, do it. Next up is a documentary, and I've mentioned this a couple times, from Draft House Films. Of course, Draft House Films are the guys that put out stuff like Miss 45, and which is one of my top releases. Thank you, Sammy, for that one. That is an amazing film. A Band Called Death. Before there was punk, there was A Band Called Death. Great one. This one has the one of their dual covers, as like they always do with stuff like with their stuff. It's numbered. Just a great little release by Draft House. We have like a digital copy. We got some like a booklet in here. Some awesome features. If you haven't checked out A Band Called Death, it's a really cool documentary, really decent. Check it out. If you're into like any of this type of stuff at all, like music and kind of like the early the punk scene. I'm from the '80s. I grew up listening to like '70s and '60s punk and stuff like that. That was kind of one of my musical genres that I was really, really into. When some of my friends were into like the metal and the hair bands and stuff like that, I was not so much. But definitely check this out. Whether you like the music or not, it is a great documentary. Worth watching. Now, I don't have what would have been my number one choice for Screen Factory and the newer ones. That would have probably been Beneath, but I don't own Beneath yet, and it's a shame. I really do have to get that movie. It's one I really want. But this one, surprisingly, it was a really, really fun film. And I shouldn't say surprisingly, because it does have a pretty decent cast. And much better than I expected. We got Honor Blackman, we got Michelle Ryan, Harry Treadway. If you've seen this movie, then you know I'm going to show you right now. And it is Cockneys versus Zombies. Much, much more fun than I thought. Don't go comparing it to like Shaun Dead or anything like that. Just take it on its own. It's a really fun film. I know Lobster's zombied out right now, but just it's a fun movie. It's one to watch. Everybody picked up Pumpkinhead when it came out, but Pumpkinhead 2 is actually a worthy sequel. They have some really decent costume in this one here as well. Some of the acting was very over the top. We have some decent stuff in here, but it's a very cool movie, and it is a great release. The interviews on here are incredible. This one is one that I was going to do like a one, and I might still do it in the future, called Movies to Buy, for their features alone. And this would definitely be that. Even if you were not the biggest fan of Pumpkinhead 2, the interviews on this stuff here will win you over. This will make you want this movie. And you may not watch Pumpkinhead 2 over and over again, but you know what? The interviews are really good enough to watch over and over again. So Pumpkinhead 2 hits as the sequel that I think from Scream Factory that you definitely should check out, and a non-collector's edition. Next up is a double feature that a lot of people, I think, didn't get, and the reason was that there was a decent DVD release of this one out, and I have it. But why did I upgrade? Well, there was a cool interview by the that wasn't on the other one. I mean, like, there's a few more features. It was Blu-ray, and I thought that this one actually deserved an upgrade to Blu-ray, and it was the Bad Dreams Visiting Hours double feature. Now, you know, there's a few features on here. There had always been features on Bad Dreams, even on the DVD release. There had been no features on Visiting Hours, though they have an interview with screenwriter Brian Taggart, which I really, really want. I'm actually, you know, I'm a writer, so that was really interesting for me to see. And these are actually two really solidly good films. Bad Dreams, Visiting Hours are two very different films, but they are both very good films that I definitely suggest you check out. So give them a watch. Now we're getting to some of the Arrow stuff, and this is some stuff that a lot of people don't think to pick up, but I think they're good releases and ones that you should give a chance to. And the first one is Christopher Walken in King New York. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this Arrow release. And you know, look at the cast. We got Dave Caruso, Lawrence Fishburne, Wesley Snipes, Steve Buscemi. Just a great cast. And who directs this movie? Well, Abel Ferrara, of course, who did Miss 45 and films like that. So if you're interested in his work, they also have a really cool documentary on him on here as well. Definitely give this one a check out. It's a really decent, yeah, it's an extremely decent one. I really liked it, really dug it, and my copy had the Beyond thing on it, which I didn't have the steelbook of. So, but check it out. Fantastic little film, you know, all different kind of like Scarfacey type of thing. Cool film. It just flew under the radar, I think. But I really dug it. Let me know what you think of these movies, by the way. I did really dig King New York, and some great features on here that are really worth checking out, especially if you're a Abel Ferrara fan. This one is a must-have. With its amazing pop art, you'd think it might be something that people would pick up right away, but a lot of people don't know the movie, so they don't really go for it. If you read the plot line, you kind of get into it, and what's really cool is they actually throw you a bonus movie on here as well, kind of a remake of the film. Very different remake, but very cool. It's Branded to Kill. Arrow put this one out, and this is under the Arrow video line still. They actually had Trapped in Lust, a 1973 film that was the remake of Branded to Kill, and the movie is Bible alone on its fantastic, gorgeous pop art that they use for the for this one. I'd love to see more of this, by the way. Arrow just throwing the pop art in. This really doing some great stuff. Really up basically over Criterion type of thing. We all know they did that with Thief, which I really got to pick up from Arrow, because Criterion really messed up the print on that one. Definitely worth checking out. We got fantastic, you know, very cool transfer, newly translated English subtitles, which are a must for something like this. We got an interview with the star of the film, a completely new film on here as well. Not a new film, but another film. So you get two films for the price of one. Beautiful artwork, really one to check out. Next time there's an Arrow sale and you see this one on here, pick it up. I don't think that you'll be complaining afterwards. It's a very cool film. Now the next one up, and the last Arrow in the collection, is a DVD, and it's from Fantastic Factory. You can get the Fantastic Factory box set, which has a couple movies on there that are worth owning. Faust, not a good movie. I talked about it recently on my with Lauren and Mark and and Mike. We do the Catholic Ray thing. So definitely check it out if you haven't checked it out. My hair is like crazy mess. I didn't realize it till afterwards. I just come in from like outside, and yeah, I was like, looked like the mad scientist type of thing. Not that my hair's mine of its own. It's like, you know, that little bit of hair that I got left just doesn't listen. But Beyond Re-Animator, definitely worth having. I mean, I know it's not the perfect Re-Animator film, but like I've mentioned on here many times before, it's got an hour-long feature on the entire Re-Animator series. If if you haven't picked this one up yet and you like Re-Animator, what's stopping you? You really, really, really need to get this one. Now we're going to end off with a couple criterions that you may not have thought about picking up. But next time you see the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale, these are ones that I strongly, highly, and completely recommend. The first off is Classe Touriste. I watched this recently. My better half had like raved about it. I was like, I'm not sure. Lino Ventura and Jean-Paul Belmondo star in this one, and blown away is an understatement to how I felt after I finished this film. I just thought it was incredible. There wasn't a boring scene in this whole movie. And I was, it was a 108-minute movie. It's French. I wasn't sure. I'm like, am I going to dig it the way that my better half does? 'Cause she speaks French and that. But they really went above and beyond. And this one is only out on DVD, so this is not a Blu-ray release. This is a DVD-only release. But they lost a lot of the French films that they had, and it's a real shame. But guys, next time Criterion sale comes around, you'll thank me if you pick up this movie and you watch it. It's really a good film. The other one that I can really recommend is a René Clément film, and it's another French. I like the French films. What can I say? And it's Purple Noon would be remade later as The Talented Mr. Ripley. I really like the way this was done. I actually prefer this to Talented Mr. Ripley. Everybody has their own one that they like, but Alain Delon was just perfect in the role. He's was very young, and this one here did a great job. It's 170 minutes short. That's what I'm gonna say. 170 minutes short because that's a really good one. The book. It's not a booklet at that. It's a book at that point. When it's like 40, 50 pages type thing. It's about 40 pages book, and it's really good. Just some great stuff in here. Purple Noon, one that you gotta have. So, in conclusion for this, because I didn't want to go on leave with my rant video that I did for the wrestling. It was just depressing to me. Two Criterion releases that I think everybody should have in their collection: Classe Touriste and Purple Noon. 3 Arrows, 1 DVD, and 2 Blu-rays. Beyond Re-Animator, Brandon to Kill, King of New York. 3 Scream Factories. Bad Dreams Visiting Hours double feature. Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. Cockneys vs. Zombies. 1 Draft House. Very excellent documentary called A Band Called Death. And the Grindhouse release that I really strongly recommend, and I hope you guys check it out, is The Swimmer. I hope there's something there that I've gotten a little bit there for everybody. I tried to go on most of the companies and give you thoughts on ones that people haven't picked up that I think they should. As for other companies, I was going to do like put in Blue Underground, I was going to put in Anchor Bay. A lot of those are just cult films that you're going to pick up anyway. These here are ones that I think a lot of people pass by because either they're not sure what they are, or they don't have the covers, or they're not as hyped as some other releases. Hope that helps. It always helps me when I come on here and I'm watching your guys' videos. And I mean, I don't know how many times I'm watching like videos from like Movie Cave Dave or Dina DVD, Mr. Faligar. When I'm just talking to good friends of mine, like Parson Burger, or watching Phil Patel's stuff. And oh man, there's just so many people I watch. Blu-ray Dan, they give me great ideas, not just on movies, but on on like videos and stuff like that as well. And I just had to I'm gonna do a proper shout out video fairly soon, but just wanted to say that. And Mood 616, man, I was in a really bummer of a mood the other night, and you did this video that I really dug, like some of the top releases, some very different stuff. Very, very cool. If you haven't checked out Mood 616 channel, really do so. I'm going to do a proper one with links to these guys and stuff like that down the road, because they truly deserve it. There's a lot of good people on here, and I don't get the chance to mention them all, but I definitely will. I will be mentioning a lot more people that are definitely inspirations for me. Absolute Sublime one, that's another guy that is, he's a bigger YouTuber, but with that being said, here's a guy that will, he takes his time out. He talks, he responds. He's like, well, when he can, stuff like that. Great guy, just a solid, decent person, and need more of that on YouTube, because we get some people, and yeah, enjoy your night. I'm much happier now than I was after I finished watching the Royal Rumble. And by the way, don't think that I'm hating on certain wrestlers on there. I'm not like a hater of Reigns or something like that. In case for all you, I just don't like the way that they're booking the show. I think it's really bad. There's much better wrestling I did watch right now. But I gotta get off that. It's like eating at me. Thanks for watching. I gotta finish off my tea. I got over there waiting for me so I can get some sleep. I gotta work in the morning, and it's almost 2 o'clock right now. So thank you everybody for watching, and have a great night. Night from the John Lobster Head. For me right now, it really is time for tea, and pick up some of those great releases. There's so much cool stuff coming out there. For me, I may have to wait a bit on some of the cool stuff, but definitely good stuff. One more, Twilight Time. I think it's yeah, no, it's out of print now. But when it wasn't, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Missed opportunity with that release. Good one, guys. Have a great night.